Hello and welcome back. Long time no see, but there's a good reason for that, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But here's what's been going on at the garage. You've probably seen this one lurking about in the background. I bought this van about 9 months ago now, and it's a Nissan Primastar. And I've already kitted it out, and I've got these Audi TT seats which are dead uncomfortable. That's why I got the cheap Amazon covers. I've just put my winter alloys on. I bought it with these summer alloys on, and they're 19-inch, but they feel quite heavy, and I kind of prefer the narrower alloys. The winter tyres, it's a lot lighter to steer. And I've already kitted it out here, and I've got a set of 3 Audi TT seats. And the back one's actually really easy to mount. You just put it on a Vivaro mount, bolt straight. Well, you've actually got to drill a couple of holes, but it bolts straight in. The front ones. This side is okay, but it's the driving height. This has got to be about 2 inches higher. So all that I've done was I just bolted a Vivaro slider mount onto the Audi TT one, and then bolted the whole lot onto the Vivaro base, and it gives you the height, and you've got full adjustment. You've got forward, back, tilt, you know, all that sort of stuff. As I said, I kitted it all out. I've got the bed in the back. I bought myself a mattress, lined it all, carpeted it all, put the seats in, and like the other 2 vans I've done, it works really well. The Porsche Cayenne, I've actually got this running, and it turned out to be something actually quite simple. And there's an electronic steering lock up in here. Don't know if you can see it. No, because I've got the covers on. But there's an electronic steering lock on it, and because the steering lock, the KES unit, the immobiliser unit, the ignition lock, it's all tied in, and I got a second-hand electronic steering lock for it, put it in. But the problem is the whole lot have got to be coded together, so I had to get a guy down from, or Boyd down from Pixels Fixed, who sorted it all out and got it going again. And the car runs really well. I'm really pleased with it, and the engine's just silky smooth. And the problem is, of course, I really like it. I really like driving around in it, but it's not really mine, it's my friend's. So I got it on, you know, so that I could fix it and run around in it for a while, which I've done. If it was mine, I would be really tempted to keep it, but he's wanting a wee bit for it, and I think it's actually, I advertised it last week, and I think it's actually sold. So Fraser's Golf's here, and we just put it in for an MOT recently, and it failed miserably. The sills are totally rotten front and back, and it's also got a broken handbrake cable, and it really needs 2 discs and 2 calipers. So I can't really weld, so I think he's just going to sell this one and just see what we can get for it. As I said, I had a couple of months off there because I had what is called polymyalgia rheumatica, which is, well, one's quite a mouthful, and the other thing is that it's an extreme stiffness of the shoulders and the hips caused by inflammation, and I just could not raise my arms above there, and I had to get Fraser to tie my laces on one occasion, so I could actually do my work, because once you're standing up, and it eventually wore off as the day went on, but I just could not work on the cars. So you'll notice that the little Audi 2's not here. It landed right in the middle of it. I mean, I had it for a couple of months here until it was diagnosed, now I'm on steroids and I'm absolutely fine. I get my arms up to there now. It needed an MOT, and it failed on the emissions. It needed a complete exhaust. So it meant getting down underneath the car and changing the exhaust, and I just couldn't even get down on the ground to do anything. So I thought I'll just let it go, and I let it go for a reason, because the Audi's finally sorted. Woohoo! I've got it in the garage here. It's getting a bit sort of dirty, so I'll have to get it cleaned and get the cover back on it. I might mothball this until the spring, but I'm so glad it's fixed. I took it to Rob Bainbridge, who's a 5-pop master, and he's really experienced on cage electronic systems, So I took it down to him and he had put it in his dyno. Well, first of all he tried one or two things, and it was, as I thought, a combination of a few things, and he replaced one or two bits. I'm going to go into more detail on this in its own video, but he replaced one or two different parts and got it running, got it up and running, and then eventually fine-tuned it, and now it's running absolutely spot on. So I'm so pleased at that. It was such a relief because I'm actually going to sell this on 2 or 3 occasions, but I'm glad I'm not. I'm glad he's got it going, and now I can really enjoy doing the last 10% in it. So the last thing you'll notice is what was lurking under the covers behind me. And that's my friend's Alpha 155 hill climb car. I've got it down at the garage here because we're either going to wrap it or paint the car and put the Gabriele Tarquini decals on it. It's actually fully stripped out. I mean, that's the front part of the cage, it's got the rear part in. It's all welded in. It's been lightened, everything's been taken out of it, including the dash. And it's all wired in as a race car should be. You know, it's just got the basic ECU and basic wiring in it, no lights, you know, no nothing. But it's got this Harlequin skim in it, which we're not too keen on. You either love it or hate it, it's a bit Marmite. And it could be the Silverstone model because it's got the Silverstone. These are apparently really rare. This caused a lot of hassle during the, I think it was the 1994 season, because they homologated 200 of these, but they stuck them in the boot of the standard road cars, and it's a fully adjustable rear wing, but it's seen better days. But we'll actually put it up for sale as is, because my friend just doesn't really have any time to work in it, and it will take a bit of work to get it back to full spec, but it would be a really interesting car to do, and it's really different. You don't see many of these on the road at all. So that's it, that's what's been going down at the garage of Dad. 1 or 2 cars out, 1 or 2 cars in as usual. Got a few projects lined up, but the one that I really want to get going is the Audi Coupe, and as I say, I think I'll wait until next year before I get onto that. The Golf's got to go. I'm not really going to do any work in it. If this sells, it'll probably go, but I think my friend wants to keep it. The problem is, you know, whether, don't really know if I want to do a lot of work on it, because I want to work on other things, on my own cars obviously. The Porsche is going. The van actually needs a gearbox, that's why I got it sort of relatively cheap, which is quite a big job, and I certainly couldn't have done it a couple of months ago. But I think I'll leave that until next year as well, because I can get all the gears, it's just crunchy and noisy a wee bit. But that's basically it. There'll be more videos coming along very soon, so keep watching, keep subscribing, and we'll see you again in the garage of Dad.